Time to get down to business. There's a lot of common questions when it comes to achieving waves, such as what are waves, what's wolfing, what's the best product to use to get waves the fastest. And you know, I've answered a few questions here and there on YouTube. I may not be able to get all the questions answered, I'm sorry, but at the same time, you know, I decided to just go ahead and try to answer the frequently asked questions that I get the most when it comes to waves. So here it is. Number one, what are waves? Waves are basically laid down curls. I can't explain it any more in depth than that, but I can try. Whether you have loose curls or tight curls, your hair is curly, so it grows in a spiral. When you take a spiral, whether it be your hair, a slinky, if you stretch it and elongate it, it gives it the appearance of that wavy pattern and texture. So that's basically what waves are. Laid down and elongated curls. Now, how do you achieve waves? You achieve waves by brushing, training your hair to lay down, and wolfing. Wolfing is very vital and important when it comes to getting waves. Wolfing is growing your hair out past your usual haircut length to the point where it takes more effort into managing. That's the best way that I can put it. Now, let's say you get your hair cut like every 2 weeks. When your hair gets past a certain point that you usually go by getting it cut, and then it takes a little more effort into managing it, that's when you're considered wolfing. Now, wolfing is very touchy because there's a lot of people that may say, you know, they'll be like, oh, you know, I'm 1 week wolfing, I'm 2 weeks wolfing, and they just got your hair cut. I don't understand how you're wolfing when you just left the barbershop. We don't do that around here, bro. That's not wolfing. You lying. I don't like liars. How long should you wolf? That's completely up to you and how fast your hair may grow. What's considered like 8 weeks wolfing to somebody else may be like 5 or 6 weeks wolfing to you or me, depending on how fast your hair grows or how slow their hair grows. My hair grows pretty fast, so yeah, it definitely takes a little more effort into wolfing like 10 weeks and whatnot, like some of these other waves out here, because you know, my hair it grows really fast. You just want to be able to wolf your hair until you can't manage it anymore, and then go in the chair and get it cut. If you're just starting out getting waves, then you don't want to cut your hair too low. You want to stay with the grain until your hair has a set wave pattern, and then when your waves are pretty much set in, then you can start going against the grain. Now there's a lot of wavers that are like pretty much afraid to go against the grain, whether it's cutting or putting in products or whatever. Now let me set one thing straight. Like, going against the grain, there is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. You can cut your hair against the grain. You can comb your hair against the grain. If you truly have waves, then you shouldn't be afraid to go against the grain. If somebody goes into the barbershop and they get an against the grain haircut, and they be like, oh, you know, my barber went against the grain, I just lost all my waves. It wasn't because he went against the grain. It's because you either, your waves weren't trained, or you got your hair cut way too low. You need to be able to know what your set wavelength is before you get your hair cut. Don't get your hair cut too often, because if you do, you'll start to lose progress. The next thing is, what products give me waves the fastest? I hate questions like this. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you ask me a question like this, I used to be a lot more patient. I am petty as hell now. If you ask me a question like this, I ain't gonna answer you, fam. I'm sorry. No products will get you waves, alright? Unless you put like a wave kit in your hair and loosen your curl, I guess that'll some way give you waves. I'm not entirely sure. I don't use kits. Middle finger to anybody who thinks so, but I don't use kits. No products give you waves. Brushing is what gives you waves. If you think I'm an asshole because I may have told you this, I'm not. I'm just simply telling you, brushing brushing gets you freaking waves. Brushing, training your hair to lay down, and wolfing, that's what gives you waves. Now products, they make it a little easier for you to achieve waves. Like for example, like products like keeping your hair clean and moisturized definitely helps. Softer hair is easier to manage and lay down than coarser hair. Certain products and techniques that you can use to make your hair softer, such as conditioning, deep conditioning, co-washing, what have you, that'll make things a little easier to achieve waves, but brushing gets you waves. So don't ask me that, because I'll probably just straight up ignore you. And if you ask me again, then I will block you. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. What brush is the best brush to use when waving? Somebody in my inbox actually hit me up because they're trying to decide whether or not they should get a crown quality brush or a die-in. Now, through my experience of using both, I can honestly say that they are both good brushes, and it's all personal preference. I used to use die-in a long time ago, but that was before I got serious with waving. Then I think I started waving last year or something like that, but I copped the crown quality brush. Really good brush, got you waves on the quickness, like flojo quick. And I was definitely happy with the progress that I had. Then when I decided to go on my die-in diet, using die-in for about 8 weeks, see how my waves progressed, I noticed that my connections got better. So it's all in personal preference. If you want to use one or the other, it doesn't really matter. As long as you stay brushing is what's going to get you waves. Consistent is key. If you have both, that's cool too. You know what I'm saying? You can use crown quality one day, die-in another. You know, it doesn't really matter. Consistency is key. That's all I can really say. So that's pretty much all that I have. If you guys have any more questions that you want me to answer, I can put up another frequently asked questions video. Just go ahead and leave your comments in the comment section below, and I can see what I can do, because at the end of the day, y'all are what keep me going. My YouTube fam, my 360 wavers out there, salute. Keep doing your thing, fam.